Am I in the wrong for beating up my eggplant in front of the camera my mom forced me to have in my room?
Nah, bruh. This man's like this. Yeah, mom? Yeah, mom? You like what you see, mom? Yeah? Why do you guys have such interest in these cursed Reddit stories, bro? They are always down bad, weird, disturbing, and guess what? For some reason, I keep coming back to it. I'm gonna be honest, bro. I'm interested in them too. They're pretty funny. Maybe we both need help, man. Let's see what demonry we find out today.
I interrupted guys' night, and it led to me getting passed around by them.
What a start, man. Yes, get passed around on guys' night. We've all been there before. We all got passed around before.
I went over to the apartment of this guy that I've been seeing. He had told me earlier in the week that he was going to have the guys around that evening, but I had totally forgotten. So when I turned up and all of his friends were drinking in the living room, I was surprised it was all guys, 5 of them, all drinking and chatting together.
Now, Five Guys is amazing, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Me personally love Five Guys. You know, the meat is amazing. The amount of meat that they give you, the fries are pretty good. They always treat you with good customer service, but their prices are kind of expensive. Don't tell me you're thinking of the other Five Guys. I was thinking about the burger place, okay?
As soon as I stepped into the room, I felt I was walking into some place I wasn't supposed to be.
Like?
They welcomed me in, but I was teased for interrupting their guys' night. It was playful though, like they were joking. Still, it felt transgressive already to be there in this space where women were normally excluded. And
hold on, transgressive? Does it have to do with transgender or anything? Or like trans aggressive, like the trans people aggression? Or like is that a different word?
They relaxed into a state that I don't think the women in their lives normally saw. I sat on the lap of the guy I've been seeing, feeling the eyes of the other guys on me. The guy I've been seeing was me in ways that felt more than he would normally do in public.
In front of his friends? Bro, how do y'all feel about PDA, by the way? Me personally, bro, I'm not the type of guy to do it in front of people. Like, that's kind of weird.
I think he was already starting to show me off to his friends. He even started to joke about how I am, a joke I went along with, and teased me that I maybe turned up for some fun. I didn't
Yo, this dude might be, you know, a cuck, bro. He might like to sit in the corner of the room, just like this, you know, hands up, feet up, watching this girl get clapped from the back, bro. We all know somebody just like that, man. It's all good, bro.
I'm just kidding. No, we don't.
Police officers, what criminal actually impressed you with their skills? Back in high school, there was this guy, Luis. He was a known dealer. It wasn't a secret. Everyone bought and harder stuff from him. The cops constantly pulled him over. Whenever a drug
For some reason, bro, every school has one of these, bro. I don't mean to pause it this early, but dude, I know your school had one. My school definitely had one, bro. And me personally, you know, I was definitely participating in some selling of snacks, okay? I was selling, you know, munchies, hot Cheetos, Gatorade, you know, Snickers bars. Yes, I was that one kid bringing huge duffel bags in the hallways like, shh, 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 sneak me that dollar under the table, little bro. How else was I supposed to afford my Bang Bro subscription when I was like 15 years old? I'm kidding.
Related incident happened at school. He was always the first kid they searched, but they never caught him with anything. They'd cut locks off his gym locker and his regular locker, hoping to find his stash, but nothing. One time, a rumor spread that his stash was in a locker not assigned to anyone. The administration searched every single locker in the school and came up empty-handed. If kids got caught with they'd admit it came from Luis, sometimes even encouraged by him. Then the cops would search him inside and
so they're snitching on him.
Out his car, everything, and he'd just laugh. Nothing ever showed up. Eventually, the vice principal's younger son asked for Christmas shoes with a secret compartment. Light bulbs went off in the VP's head. The first day back after the holidays, he pulls Luis out of class, brings him to the office, and tells him to take his shoes off. Sure enough, hidden compartments, but no Luis.
Damn, yo, this dude's moving like freaking kingpin. Compartments of substances in your shoes, but no substance to be found.
Was laughing his ass off. He casually explained that he hadn't even seen any of his classmates for 3 weeks and hadn't taken any orders yet. If the VP had waited just one more day, he probably would have caught him. Luis had the audacity, the patience, and the smarts to stay completely untouchable. Police officers,
bro,
what criminal actually impressed
anybody selling substances in school, bro? If you're watching this video right now, you're probably that dude. I'm gonna be honest, bro, I know you, bro. You're selling carts, you know, wax pens, things like that in school, vapes. Bro, just stop. It's not worth it. You're gonna get expelled. You're not gonna have a future. You're gonna be a bum when you get older, bro. Just...
A young female teacher, good-looking and stylish, was giving her class a big assignment one day. It was so big she had to write high up on the whiteboard. As she reached up, one boy in the class suddenly giggled. She quickly turned around and said, "What's so funny, Michael?" "Sorry, teacher, but I just saw one of your stockings," he answers. "Get out of my classroom," she yelled. "I don't want to see you for 3 days." The teacher turns back to the whiteboard after adjusting her skirt. She reached the very top to write. It suddenly...
Yo, how do y'all have the confidence to be commenting on your teachers like that, bro? You don't feel like a creep or you feel like you're gonna get in trouble or something?
There's an even louder giggle from another student. She turns again and shouts, "What's so funny, Billy?" "Well, miss just saw both of your stockings." She now. Furious screams as loud as she can get out of my classroom. This time, the punishment gets more severe. "I don't want to see you for 3 weeks." She fixes her skirt again. Embarrassed and frustrated, she drops her marker when she turns towards the board, so she bends over to pick it up. This time...
Okay, at this point, you're asking...
Okay, whoa. Okay, that's gonna sound crazy.
Bro, y'all all had that one teacher, right? They go over to your test, you know, they're like, hey guys, make sure we guys are reading the question properly. That was canon event every time, okay? And then they go over to your friend and they're like, mind you, you're on the left. They go, can I help you? And you have straight buns in front of your face, dude. Bro, sometimes these teachers be doing it on purpose. Let's be real, sometimes. Brief intermission, we just hit 90,000 subscribers. I repeat, 90K. We are on the road to 100,000. We are on the road to 100,000. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed and join the LHS family, bro. Thank you very much.
I went to the bathroom to fix my shirt, which I had accidentally worn inside out. When I entered the stall, the bathroom was empty. As I flipped my shirt around, someone walked into the stall next to me. I also used some toilet paper to wipe my nose and dropped it in the bowl. This triggered the auto flush sensor, and it flushed. Here's where my predicament began. I realized I also had to pee, but since I had already used toilet paper and flushed, my twisted mind decided this would seem really weird to the person next door. Why would someone
Overthinking final boss, bro. Does anybody genuinely care?
use the bathroom, flush, and then stand up and pee again? But I couldn't hold it. I was afraid they might recognize my shoes and know who I was, so I hatched a clever deception.
Is it that embarrassing to be caught peeing in school? I mean, unless you're like doing it on someone or somewhere that you're not supposed to, it should be fine.
Left the stall and washed my hands to seem normal, despite the fact that I hadn't even used the bathroom. After drying my hands, I walked
Whoa, what is going on here? Why are you touching the... Whoa!
loudly to the exit and opened the door into the hall. Then I said, "Oh, excuse me," like I bumped into someone else coming in, and walked right back in. I made sure to change the sound of my footsteps, walking more quietly so the person in the stall would think I was a different person and not some freak playing bathroom charades. Then, I went to the urinal, peed, and washed my hands again, this time using the farthest sink so they couldn't spot my shoes.
Okay.
I went to the bathroom to fix...
Who cares, dude?
Men have read it. Have you ever stopped wrestling midway through and why? Yet I looked at her and she had a blank expression on her face.
Wrestling? Oh, we're talking about wrestling. The real, like, you know, clapping cheeks. I know you watched this video, you know, you've never done this type of wrestling, man. It's okay. One day you will, though, bro.
Her boyfriend came home, much to her surprise. He was supposed to be at work.
Oh.
Much to my surprise, she told me she didn't have a boyfriend.
Oh my gosh, a cheating situation.
My mostly quiet wife shouted out, "Pump it, baby, pump it." I kind of collapsed.
Wait, wife? Whoa, 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 whoa. So you have a wife, but then there was a girl who has a boyfriend? So did both y'all cheat in this situation, or like, am I missing, or is your wife a cuck?
Collapsed on her laughing. She started laughing too. Said she heard in a wrestling movie well before we met, and it popped into her head. I started to match my thrust to the PM of some house music, and we couldn't stop laughing. She ate a goldfish cracker. She found in the bed while we were switching positions. She said, "Do a goldfish."
Ugh, she ate a goldfish cracker that was in the bed? It was probably sitting there for like years, bro. Probably has dead skin cells, freaking bed bugs crawled over it. You might have accidentally drooled on it in your sleep. Heck, you might have wet the bed one time and it got touched by that. You're eating dirty old goldfish on top of that while getting cracked to house music BPM. Like, this lady's kind of weird, bro.
Cutest, excited voice. And then I just hear crunch, crunch, crunch as she happily numbed it. We had to stop because we both started laughing hysterically when she saw the look of disbelief on my face that was 15 years ago. And it's still one of my favorite wrestling memories. Men have...
So, I was so awkward, bro.
People in the Army, where do you beat your meat? When I was in the Army, there was a law against touching yourself vigorously and inappropriately. Now, mind you, no officer or sergeant in their right mind would actually go around and open random doors to try and catch people doing illegal self-touching. So unless you were it in front of an officer, or you would accidentally bust a load on a sergeant as he opened the door,
Imagine what the...
It was quite hard to be caught in this illegal activity. However, finding a place to do this sinning was more challenging than it had any right to be. Some of your options were rubbing one off in the room where you lived in. This was not popular with the 5 other people living there with you. Your next option was to rub one out in the bathroom stalls, and this was almost worse because there was almost always someone else in there with you, either shitting or doing something similar.
I mean, bro, at that point, you just gotta do it together, bro. Like, you know, friends who goon together stay together, things like that. You know, that's like an ancient saying, you know, from back in the day, bro. Don't act like I made that up, bro. That's been around, okay? So all 5 of us, me and my homies, we would have been just having a group session, just like, you know, stroking and all, bro. Maybe we would have helped each other out, bro. Just, you know, help me out, man. My arm's getting a little tired, bro. Just go ahead and, you know, do it for me, bro.
Kind of ruins the mood. Or you could wait to leave and do it at home, where you wouldn't break any laws. But it could be quite a while until your next vacation from the Army. I can guarantee you that some people have gotten this down to an art and could jack off anywhere without being bothered by their surroundings or getting caught in the process. But I was not one of these people. This is relevant, because I personally could not be bothered with this whole ordeal. To put it bluntly, I simply did not give much of a hoot if I needed to wait some time to touch my private real estate. But there were a couple of consequences of this. For instance, the frequency of dreams you might experience will skyrocket.
Oh, damn.
I was participating in a general Army exercise.
Wait, how many times have y'all had that? I've only had that maybe like once or twice.
Way out in the middle of nowhere. It was miles away from any facility, house, or structure of any kind. And at this point, it had been quite a while since the last time I had broken any self-touching laws, which meant that if I as much as saw anything even resembling a woman in any of my dreams, I would instantly cream my This,
whoa, dude. Yo, that's a problem. You gotta take care of that, bro. You should not be having mayonnaise stains in your underwear when you wake up, bro. All the time, man. Creamy pants, whipped cream pants.
Is exactly what happened. This could not have happened in any worse time or place. So it was the middle of the night, far away from any facility or bathroom, packed in a tent full of other dudes practically shoulder to shoulder. So naturally, when I woke up after seeing something resembling a girl in one of my dreams, I slowly started to realize my situation. People in the army, where do you be?
Yo, this dude was so down bad, bro. Yo, next thing for this man might be, femboys and furries, which, shout out to him. We all enjoy that type of stuff anyways.
Who's that one friend who's just freaky for no reason? You know the one. Too comfortable, too unfiltered, and way too bold. They're not just a person. They're a walking red flag and proud of it. Always making the weirdest comments at the worst possible moment.
Yo, guys, that's not me, right? Like, that's not me, bro. I don't make weird comments, bro. I don't be saying nothing sus, nothing freaky, nothing weird. Bro, I'm the most, normal, up and down reactor that you've ever seen in your life, bro. Be real, bro. It's not me, man. It's not.
You'll be having a normal conversation, and out of nowhere, they drop something that makes the whole group go, yo, what? They flirt with everyone, everywhere, with zero shame. Teachers, waiters, your mom. No one is safe.
Your mom? Whoa, okay, you allow that? I ain't gonna lie, bro. My homie started doing that with my mom. It might be over, bro.
Say the wildest things with a straight face and act like you're the one being dramatic for reacting. They live for chaos, send you unhinged memes at 3 a.m., and treat thirst traps like it's their full-time job.
Okay, this is not me, bro. I don't be doing this. Okay, he had me in the first half, bro.
Taught my brother 15, M, my sister 18, F, my father 58, M, my mother 56, F, my other brother 24, M, my other sister 12, F, my uncle 50, M, my aunt 47, F,
doing
my
what?
niece 7, F, my nephew 12, M, my grandfather on my father's side 79, their daughter 5F, and my neighbor's daughter's friend 6F, all throwing a party. I, 22M, was not invited to this party hosted.
Bro, I'm so glad he's at freaking party, bro. I was getting ready to be like session of gooning all together or something, bro. Some freaky frog activity or something like that, bro. I was scared for my life, man. Yo, my ears were about to bleed.
My brother did me when I was drunk at a house party.
Whoa!
I'm 3 years older than my brother, and I've got a job. He's at college, but my job had me do a training course for a couple of weeks at
He did what? What did he do? He did you? Brother did while you were drunk? You're grape, right?
the same college. We have the same parents, but they don't live together. I have my mom's last name, and my brother got his dad's. My brother likes to think of himself as being popular because he's often invited to parties, and I've heard him talk to his friends about how he gets girls. When he
Okay.
found out I was going to the same place for a while, he was annoyed and told me to not tell anyone I'm his sister. After I had been there for 2 weeks, a girl invited me to a party and said there will be boys and alcohol. So of course I said yes to going. On the weekend,
Okay.
I met her and we went to her house to get ready. I saw an adult under her bed, so we laughed about it, and she said she had it for party games like spin the bottle, etc.
What? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, that just made it even worse. What do you mean for party games? A toy, right, underneath the bed for spin the bottle and party games. So we're partying with the same toys, man? We're, sticking it in my head, and then we're gonna stick it in her afterwards, and then we're gonna, share it, and then we're gonna taste it afterwards. For some of y'all out there, that might sound like a plan, an amazing time. For me, I feel like that's passing around germs, bacteria, and a quick way to catch HIV. No, bro, you can't do that. That's not sanitary.
We turned up a few hours late, so there were a lot of people already drunk. When we walked through the door, a boy I didn't know s***ed my dicks.
Whoa.
We had some drinks and went into a different room. That's when I saw my brother. He also saw me, and we sort of stopped and stared at each other before continuing on. My new friend, joking, said it looks like you have a thing checking each other out.
Oh, nah, bro. Imagine you're a sister, right? You walk into a room, you see your brother there, you're like, damn, I'm stunned to speak. I don't know to crack this dude. And then your brother's like, hold on, yo, sister, you looking kind of, you looking kind of good, man. What the? Yo!
Which I laughed off and said he wishes to act like I didn't know him. We mostly avoid each other for the rest of the night apart from getting drinks. But it comes to a part in the night when most people have gone home or passed out asleep somewhere. There was no one else awake beside my brother and my friends. So my friends decided to ask my brother if we could hang with them. My brother said yes. However, I didn't expect what he was going to say to me. My brother did me when I was drunk at a house party.
Why does it just end there, bro? That's not the rest of the story. Where's the rest of it?
What did you not know about intercourse until you lost your virginity? That your partner isn't going to care about the little things about your body that you're insecure about.
True facts, bro. People, I know on the women's side it's a lot more of a thing, like, hip dips and weird, stretch marks thing. Nobody cares, bro. They don't, bro. As a matter of fact, usually dudes, they don't even know what that is. And if they do come out and somebody mentions it, they're a weird person. You should not be having, intercourse with them.
A guy followed his wife because he was suspicious that she was cheating on. He waited for her to leave that night and jumped
Okay.
into a taxi to follow her. While following her, he found out she was working in a strip club.
Oh.
The guy said to the taxi driver,
That's worse, bro. What?
"Want to make 500?" The driver, eager to make a quick buck, said, "Sure, buddy. What do I have to do?" The guy replied that all he need to do was go inside the club, grab his wife, put her in the back of the taxi with him, and take them home. Thinking this was an easy task,
Okay.
the driver read and went in. A couple
No, bro. What is on my screen?
of minutes later, the club door gets kicked open, and the driver is dragging a woman out who is kicking, biting, punching, and cursing all the way to the car.
Okay.
The taxi driver opens the door, throws the woman
She's not consenting, bro. If she doesn't want to do it, then, that's a crime of all types, bro.
inside and tells the man, "Here, hold her." The man looks down at the girl and shouts at the driver, "Hey, wait a minute, this ain't my wife." The taxi driver replied, "I know it's mine. I'm going back in for yours.
I didn't get it, bro.
Dare turned into a session and me and out my own sister.
Whoa! Whoa.
The flip? Something insane happened last week.
What type of dare is that? No, you're not gonna act like that's normal, bro. None of us are doing any dares that turn into anything similar to that at all, bro.
So while they had to share, my older sister Rachel and I were home alone. Our parents were out of town and it was a typical lazy afternoon. I was in my room, trying out this crazy new app called Per Notifier, which could address photos. I was amusing myself with celebrity pictures and processing how my crushes would look like without clothes.
Okay,
Rachel,
that's weird, by the way. Yo, this guy's the one making the AI deepfake to people online, bro. Yo, somebody stop this man. Why do those apps even exist?
Older than me, was in her room. She was always the playful type, but what happened that day was way beyond innocent play. She knocked on my door and walked in wearing a short bathrobe. I quickly minimized the app and looked at her. Hey, what's up? I asked casually. Hey, Mark, can I borrow your phone charger? She replied, sitting on my bed. Sure, it's over there. I pointed to my desk. As she leaned over to grab the charger, her slightly revealing a hint of her curves. I couldn't help but steal a glance.
The normal, no. That's not the normal response. Normal response, you maybe see a little robe, you go like this. Oh, damn, I do not want to see that. God, bro, sister, you're freaking weird, bro. Cover up. But this dude, you're not a dog, man.
She caught me and smirked. Like what you see, bro? I blushed and shrugged, trying to play it cool. But then she did something unexpected. Rachel let her robe hang a little more. As she sat cross-legged on my bed, she lowered and said, Mark, I'm really bored. Want to play a game?
No.
What kind of game?
No games. I don't like games.
Asked my voice, barely audible. How about a dare game? I dare you to tell me your deepest She giggled. What the flip?
Achieving my dreams in life. Loving myself for who I am.
Okay. I sometimes fantasize about public stuff, I muttered. She grinned, her eyes twinkling. Interesting. Your turn.
No!
I dare you to show me a little more, I said boldly. Carried away in the moment, Rachel didn't flinch. She let her robe revealing her
No!
My heart raced and I felt my face getting hot. Your turn for a dare,
No!
I whispered. My voice was husky. Tell me if you have any photos of me in a on your phone. She smirked. I have some. I tried to sound cool, but I was stumbling around like a boy. It seemed to electrocute her, and she became visibly even more than before. Then I dared her to
Yo, stop the freaking dares. Yo, stop. No dares. Can we just do truths? Can we do like truth or dares? And the no dare part? Like, yo, this family's weird, bro. They're from Alabama to Godby, bro. Yo, are you guys white? You by chance, shout out to my white people, but this,
What's the weirdest thing a complete stranger has said to you? 1. I'm a server, and as I dropped off the check to one of my tables, I said, have a great rest of your day like I always do.
Okay.
And the guy looks at me dead in the eye and says, you don't give a shit about me. Then
damn, I mean, that is low-key true.
leaves me a 40% tip. Such a weird moment. 2. I work at a restaurant. I brought a guy his coffee and he said, oh, bless you, sir. May your birth control method never fail. 3.
Huh?
When me and my cousin were about 10, we were walking around Walmart. We saw a lady with dreadlocks and my cousin asked how to get hair like that.
Okay.
She told us you have wear a KFC bucket on your head for
What? Yo.
2 months. 4. I got mugged once on vacation as a young teenager. This is how the conversation went. I'm going to need whatever money you have on you, kid. I got a 20 but needed to get the train home. How much is your ticket? About $8 or $9. Oh, that's all right. I've got change. He took my $20 bill and gave me 10 back. Not a bad mugging by any means.
What the? He went into the nicest robber of the day, bro. It's gotta be the UK, right? We get all your money. And it's like, oh, I have 20 bucks, bro. But you need to take the train, innit? So here's the change, fam. Simple, casual day, average day in London, right, guys? London's nice, right?
One time a guy came up to me once and asked if I had a light for a smoke. Before I get a chance to respond, he says, no, wait, you're too fat to smoke. And walked away. 6.
Yo, fat people just be catching strays.
At a gas station at 2 in the morning, a guy yells, hey, really loud. I think, oh shit, I'm about to get mugged. Hey, he shouts again. I look at him and he continues, were you aware that some guitar player died? Number. He then proceeds to have a drunken conversation about him with me. After what I thought was an amicable conversation, he mugged me. 7 guys came up to me while I was gassing up my car and asked, hey, do you know what the plastic tip of a shoelace is called? I did and said, it's called an aglet. One
is?
turns to the other and, see? I told you. They went inside. I finished putting gas in my car, and just as I'm about to leave, the guy stops me, gives me a Snickers bar, and leaves. 8. You have good birthing hips. I'm a guy. 8, 9. Old
Yo, that dude was a freak, yo. He wants you.
man. What do you call that hair color? Me red, I guess. Old man leaning over and stroking my hair. I like strawberries. Let's call it strawberry part 10. Ha. When I was a kid, I was walking around and found a pile of broken windshield glass. I don't know if I believed it or not, but I yelled out, whoa, I just found diamonds. And some extremely old man came from a nearby corner and said, hand them over, Lowell. The look on his face when he saw me kneeling over shattered windshield glass was priceless. 11 last weekend, I heard a guy in Seattle say, I looked at that spider right in his eyes and told him, F you. What's the weird?
Interesting, bro. That just sounds like a bunch of SA harassment and getting robbed, bro. How do you get robbed and that many bad things happen to you all in one time?
Founded my daughter after she saw me pleasuring myself. I, 40M, have been single for 5 years since my partner passed away. My daughter, 26F, came home to visit while she thinks about moving back to my town. I have since moved into a small one-bedroom apartment, so there was no real room for her. But she's only staying 2 weeks. I haven't seen her in over a year. Even though we talk every week, she and I are very close. When I picked her up from the airport, my heart raised. We held hands an entire drive home. Having a woman in the house again felt really good. I had a list of chores for her to do, and she started almost immediately. I told her I wanted to thank her for her work, and she suggested we go out to a nice restaurant. I was excited since I mostly cook at home for myself, and it has honestly been a few months since I've been on a date. I got dressed and we went to a nice Italian restaurant she picked. She was so attentive the entire night. It was sweet. And when she suggested I have another glass of wine, I didn't hesitate. We went for a short walk after—
Wait, we're still talking about his daughter, by the way, right? Like, am I tripping? You're describing her in a very, very romantically odd way, bro, and I don't like it.
After dinner, and I hung off her arm and we talked about her boyfriend. It was the happiest I've been in a while. When she drove us home, she grabbed my hand and held it, initiating the contact. When we got home, we talked more and she massaged my shoulders and then neck. It was heaven. I realized that I was enjoying being too much and excused myself saying I was going to bed. I went in my room and put a towel on my bed and got comfortable. I was about to myself, but my daughter walked in. She then saw me obviously exposed.
No!
She then started Founded my daughter.
Yo, no, bro. I mean, the last thing I can say is like, bro, it's gonna sound like I'm justifying this behavior, but I mean, at least she was 26, right? Like, she wasn't like a kid or something, bro, because that would have been freaking even worse. But this is horrible.
Am I in the wrong for beating up my eggplant in front of the camera my mom forced me to have in my room?
What? So your mom put a security camera in your room and your first thought was, oh yeah, mom? You wanna see security footage of me, mom? Oh yeah? Well, come look at this. What is your problem, bro? No, you need help, man.
A 15-year-old guy, and my mom has always been a bit overprotective. Recently, she took it to the next level by insisting on putting a surveillance camera in my room for my safety.
That's weird.
I found it super invasive and uncomfortable.
It is invasive and weird, and I would ask her, like, why? What is she doing with the footage? She might be weirder than you, actually, bro.
She wouldn't take no for an answer. So, in an act of defiance, I decided to beat my eggplant right in front of the camera every day for a week. I figured if she wanted to invade my privacy, she'd have to deal with the consequences.
Yo.
I made sure to look directly into the camera, making it clear that I knew it was there.
Nah, bro. This man's like this. Yeah, mom? Yeah, mom? You like what you see, mom? Yeah? That's crazy.
Didn't care. After a week, my mom came to me, furious. She had finally watched the
Wait,
footage.
no, now she mad? Why are you mad for, mom? You can't be mad, bro.
Saw what I've been doing. She said she was absolutely disgusted and yelled at me for being disrespectful and said I was acting like a child. I told her that if she wanted to invade my privacy—
Wait, what's childish about that?
to be prepared for what she might see. She took the camera down immediately, but now she's giving me the silent treatment and acting like I'm the bad guy. My dad thinks I went too far, and I think he secretly finds it funny. But he also agrees that having a camera in my room was too much.
Yeah.
My sister won't even talk to me anymore, after my mom told her what I had done. But my friends think it's hilarious and say my mom got what she deserved.
I'm not gonna lie, this is pretty funny, bro. Well, that's gonna do it for the third edition of Curse/Sus Reddit Stories. Let me know if you want to check out another part, because I'm sure you guys will, bruh. These videos are really funny to make. But that's gonna do it for this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord link in the description. Make sure you sub to the channel, sub to the main channel description, follow the IG also description. Let me know what you want to check out next in the comment section down below. As always, have a great rest of your day. It's Love Hello, I love you, and I'm out.